Okay, so we're starting out with 3 sweet potatoes, and they have been boiling for a while. Boil them until tender with when you poke it with a knife, and then boil it even longer so it's nice and it's really soft, because we are making a sweet potato bake, and we need this to be nice and whipped and soft. So I'm using my masher for this. You'll see me, I'm adding a stick of butter, but I'm using my masher for this, and you'll see me using this throughout the whole mixing process because I want to get it as smooth as possible. There goes my little girl. She wanted to help cook, so she wanted to add in the butter, y'all. Our hands are clean, I promise. So she's gonna add in that stick of butter. All right, and I'm gonna continue to use my masher to get this all incorporated because I want it nice and smooth. Okay, so I'm going to be adding honey to this, also some granulated brown sugar. I am also going to be adding some regular sugar when I find it, and some vanilla almond milk, and also some Philadelphia cream cheese. Now, when you're adding all of these sweeteners, I'm going to say do it to taste. Some people like it sweeter than others, so I won't give exact measurements on the sweeteners because everybody's sweetness level is different. As far as the milk goes, just 1/4 cup of milk is good. I'm using non-dairy milk. You can use whatever you like to use. And when it goes for the Philadelphia cream cheese, 2 tablespoons. It'll get it nice and creamy. You don't have to add that, but I like the extra creaminess. You could substitute that for extra butter. You can also substitute that for I don't know, some people like sour cream, Greek yogurt, so you can play around with that. But I decided to use cream cheese, and it came out really good. Be sure to taste it as you go so you can make sure that it's right for you. I say start adding less and then add more on, because you can always add more. You cannot take out. It's very hard to cut down on the sweetness when you add so much. So you will see me throughout adding a bit more sugar, adding a bit more brown sugar, a bit more of things that I think it needs. Oh, I forgot to mention that I also add gingerbread spice to this. You can use plain cinnamon. I like gingerbread spice because it has the allspice, the cinnamon. It has everything in there. But like I said, taste and add. Taste and add. Okay, so at this point I have my aluminum pan here because I don't want to wash any dishes. We're going to pour that in there and spread it across evenly. And then we're just going to set it to the side so we can make our crumble topping. It's going to be the best part of this dish. I promise you, it takes it to a whole nother level from a regular sweet potato pie. Okay, so now we're going to be making our crumble. I'm using 1 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 1/3 cup of regular sugar, and adding in some more of that gingerbread spice. I'm also doing 2 handfuls of pecans. You can add pecans, any different kind of nut. That is very optional to you. And then I'm also adding in 1 1/2 cup of chilled butter. So cold butter, chilled butter. I had mine sitting out on my table overnight, and I popped it back in the fridge while I was making that sweet potato whip. And by the time I took it out, it was chilled. So cold, chilled, your definition, whichever. Cut them into pieces though, and add those last. So mix all of your spices together in with the flour. Mix it up real good. Add your pecans and then add your butter. Now that everything is mixed, we're going to add our 1 1/2 cups of butter. Here you will see me add the chopped pecans. I'm going to mix that in there, and then I'm going to add my butter. When I add my butter, you want to start mixing it with your hands. You can use a fork, or if you have one of those, I don't know what it's called, but it like rocks back and forth like a cutter. I don't know what it's called, but you can also use that. But with your hands, you can kind of see how it feels, if it's mixing in properly, if you have big chunks of butter in certain areas that you need to spread out. So my hands are clean. I've just been cooking this meal. So I'm going ahead and chopping it through with my hands till it's all mixed and incorporated. I grabbed a fork here because it was all incorporated very well. I just wanted smaller chunks. So the fork is able to rake through and give me smaller bits. So it's not all chunked up in one place. Now, a quick tip, this crumble does like to stick together, so as I am placing it over the top, I am kind of breaking it apart with my hands so that it gets all over. When you put it in the oven to bake, it will come together, so don't worry if it's not 100% every inch covered. When I made this crumble, it made enough to cover a 9 by 13 pan. So if you make anything bigger than that, I would make half an extra batch or 2 batches of this, but it covered completely great, and you'll see in the end that it came together and covered it very well. Okay, so I preheated my oven on 350 and I put it in there. It took about 30 to 40 minutes to bake actually, but it looks so pretty and tastes so delicious. Thank you all for watching. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel for more delicious dessert recipes, and I will see you guys next week.